All right, so we're going to be talking in this video about the want versus need conversation surrounding do you need to urinate and when is the best time to urinate, and the easiest, most practical tool that we use in order to self-regulate and determine that. So what is that? The want versus need conversation. When you feel that initial urge to urinate, you're going to ask yourself, do I want to pee or do I need to pee? And the way that you determine that is by using a 10-second maximal contraction Kegel, which we're going to discuss in a second here, to say, okay, so I felt that initial sensation of needing to pee. Rather than immediately going to pee, because we're trying to break up the conundrum of over urinating to allow that bladder to fill and create more capacity. So on the back end of the surgery, your bladder has more general capacity rather than this desire to pee every 90 minutes to 2 hours versus the capacity to work towards having the ability to hold for up to 4 hours. Reason being, this helps with general filling, as well as the idea of if you can hold it for 4 hours during waking hours, you should be able to hold it for 8 hours during a full night's sleep without having to get up to go pee. So how do we work on this? The first step, want versus need, initial sensation. I'm gonna half my pelvis here. Pelvis, take away half, get a nice side view. Bowels, prostate, bladder. Bladder starts to fill. Up until now, your prostate potentially slightly enlarged, potentially a little closed around the urethra. So up until this point, your bladder has been filling. You have that sensation a little sooner. You go to pee. We don't allow for bladder to fully fill. What we're trying to do in this process prior to surgery is allow the bladder to fill more. It puts more weight down on the pelvic floor. The pelvic floor expands, and then it changes the resting tone, which allows the pelvic floor to match the resistance of the bladder, which then says to your brain, oh, I don't really need to pee as much. You get more filling, we make more capacity, right? So when you have that initial sensation, at this point, your nervous system is a little thrown out of whack because it's become a new habit for you to go immediately when you feel it, or you've created habits surrounding a just in case urination, right? I'm about to go out, so I'm gonna just pee just in case, even though I peed 30 minutes later or 30 minutes prior to that. That's what we would say potentially over peeing, right? So you have that sensation, bladder is pushing down on your pelvic floor. You're going to maximally Kegel by turtle head in the shell, nuts to guts, butthole to belly button, front to back, contraction all upward, and you're gonna hold that for 10 full seconds. Continue breathing, don't bear down, and then you're gonna check in with yourself. By doing that 10-second contraction, is the urge to go urinate as strong? Has it changed? Is it diminished? If the answer is it's diminished, then go about your business. Do you really need to pee anymore, or was it just that initial sensation? If it is lessened, but you still feel like you need to, give it another 10 seconds. If the answer after that is, yep, it's pretty much gone, continue to go about your business. If the answer is no on either the first or second attempt, well, then it's probably okay for you to go use the restroom. But you want to just keep in mind, we're trying to gravitate towards small incremental increases in you spacing out when you go urinate to allow for full bladder potential filling. And that comes with small steps in the right direction. So if under normal circumstances you're peeing about every hour, then you're gonna do your 10-second max contraction and try to stave it off for 10, 15, 20, another 30 minutes in small incremental fashion. And then that's gonna turn into, well, I'm no longer getting the sensation to go pee until the 2-hour mark versus the hour mark. And that is how we create more capacity in the bladder.